Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to this broadcast. My name is Aaron. I'm the research supervisor for the Tucson Tyranny Response Team, and our website should be up and running in the next few days. Thank you again for tuning in. I want to talk about police abuse. Actually, abuse from Pima County Sheriff's Department staff all the way up to Sheriff Dupnik. About a year ago or so, an incident happened. An officer responded. The officer wrote a report. This officer's name is Deputy Abizu. Within his reports, within his first report, was multiple errors. And in addition to the errors, was not much facts. Ha ha. Is that funny? Anyways, so we did an internal affairs complaint. I initiated it, and the officer was ordered to update his report. So it went from errors in the report to an updated report. Within the updated report, lies were found in the report. Internal Affairs quickly covered that up by sending us a nasty gram to two different witnesses and victims in this case that are continual attempts to correct them can only be viewed as harassing and abusive, and accordingly they're not going to take any more written statements or oral statements from us. They never interviewed us in their office anyway, and we never went over the facts, so they didn't take any to take any more. I don't know where they get any from, because they never let me in the office behind the doors in the little room to interview me, with exception to the criminal complaint against the suspect. Anyways, errors on the report. Internal Affairs complaint. Internal Affairs ordered Vizu to update his report, and his updated report lies. To cover that up, Lieutenant Sacco, and I'm saying cover up, Lieutenant Sacco sent a nasty gram threatening unlawful imprisonment under the guise of harassment, and they're not going to take any more statements. Basically, they didn't want to hear about it. And so, unlawful imprisonment, Title 13 threats, intimidation to cause bodily harm by way of handcuffs alone, if nothing else. Yes, that's a threat of to cause bodily harm, and unlawful imprisonment would accordingly be you'd have handcuffs on, or I would. That'd be that. Anyways, from an unlawful imprisonment point of view, that's connecting up to the obstructing statute. And Lieutenant Sacco, in my opinion, very strongly obstructed a criminal investigation by delaying the information of testimony relating to any Title 13 criminal statute, being a tampered with public record by Vizu. And she made threats of an unlawful imprisonment, which in the statute it says obstructing by threats of unlawful force. Well, obstructing by threats of we're not accordingly taking any more statements, oral statements, or written statements, and we're mentioning harassment because we know you'll think we'll arrest you for it. By the way, I've been served with an injunction against harassment from the sheriff, so I guess I must not be harassing them. I'm just trying to get them to do their job all the way. So, the Lieutenant Sacco sent the letter and obstructed criminal investigation by delaying the information of testimony, my testimony relating to a Title 13 statute, the tampering statute, and so that's threats and intimidation, obstructing, and threat of an unlawful imprisonment. That's the title part of the Title 13. Okay, she obstructed per the statute by threats of an unlawful act, being an unlawful imprisonment under the guise of harassment. Now that's an abuse of power. This person cannot be allowed to do that again, and she's done it to someone else. They have an identical letter to mine virtually, and a third person has an identical letter involving another IA case that was closed this same way in an obstructing manner by Lieutenant Sacco. Paperwork has been delivered to Dupnik. He's now been basically notified of a potential perjury of oath of office, and accordingly we might have to get a petition up and going to remove him from office, because this can't be allowed to happen to anybody else. Somebody needs to view his filing cabinets and see how many other cover-ups are involved. These issues I have been involved in has caused me great concern as to who the real criminals are in this once great nation. Accordingly, as an American, I have to question authority and find answers and find out why the sheriffs aren't transparent, why they violate the public records law, why won't they give me an audio of myself making a 911 call. Could it be because the 911 call will help prove my allegations? Are they not bound by ARS 39121, the public records law that mandates any person at any time can review or ask to copy public records on any day? Any day. Standardly, this any day translates to them to mean a couple weeks. And that's not what the law reads. Also, when you ask for a 911 audio call at the sheriff's, they seem to standardly give out a 911 transcript and charge you for it to be transcribed. Now that's not very fair to the victims. Why would they be hiding evidence from the victims? Anyways, this is the beginning of my posts and or video logs, vlogs, whatever this is. I'm uploading to YouTube, and I'm looking for some feedback, and I'm going to be mentioning my websites that'll be coming online here in a few days. It ought to be interesting for the sheriffs. Once again, I can prove they weren't doing their entire job and doing a percentage of it, and that's where my domain names will come in. You'll laugh when you see them and hear them running. Well, the sheriffs might not, but I will. Anyways, I'm a researcher. I'm the research supervisor for the Tucson Tyranny Response Team. I'm also doing research for other organizations. One in particular, we'll leave that one on the back burner for now. And I want to thank anybody out there that gives me your support. When my web pages come up, I'll post how to get to them, and we'll do some more uploading and corruption within Pima County. A little bit more about me. Why do I see it so clearly? Well, could it be because in the past, Terry Parrish too, that's one of the sheriff's deputies, this was years ago, placed me into handcuffs for speaking about the Constitution. And he wrote it in his report, quote, because Mr. Ray continually spoke of the Constitution and its conflict with Arizona law, it was for this reason I placed him into handcuffs and put him in the rear seat of my patrol vehicle. What the heck? Does anybody else see that as some kind of unlawful imprisonment for freedom of speech because I said something? Give me a break. He wrote it in his report. In fact, I got a good audio of him. We'll probably upload it. And it was a recent conversation looking back 10 years on the situation. It was interesting. Maybe it could be because I'm the way I am because I was given a traffic ticket as a passenger. Made to fight all the way to the system. An officer tampered with physical evidence as I see it and alleged still to this date. I'll take a lie detector test and we'll find out what was added to the alleged evidence. Mr. Muzzy, Bob Muzzy, Robert Muzzy. I'll take a lie detector test. We'll find out where that evidence came from that was added to the other alleged evidence. If you'll take a lie detector test, you know, we can always open the case. Fraud, Rule 60C, I believe. Newly acquired evidence of fraud give cause to an action in law. So I might be the way I am because of the way I've been treated by our local government officials. I'm going to end this broadcast now. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll be back. Have a great day and a better tomorrow.